TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond. TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond. TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond. TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond. TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world and beyond. TV 1061, conceptualizing your ideas across the world.
Hey, I'm not in right now. Sorry, leave me a message.
I just wanna love you. Meet me at the hotel room, or you can come over. So many things I wanna do to your body, driving me crazy. I just wanna love you. Meet me at the hotel room, or you can come over. So many things I wanna do to your body.
Welcome to Bedroom Chronicles. My name is Mercury's Rising, and I'm your host today. And hopefully someone will call in and we can have a little intimate conversation, and we'll be talking about my book, Men in My Bed, True Love is Hard to Find, Bedroom Chronicles. It's been out since May of 2019, and it's a very interesting read. It starts off with childhood stories that where I share about some traumatic experience, very traumatic experiences. And then it leads into relationships into my adulthood, and then some of them weren't so good, but I always look at the good that comes out of the relationship instead of the bad. But I also take everything as a lesson. So, I think I start off talking about how hard it is to let go, meaning let go of a past relationship. So in order for you to get the relationship that I guess that you think that you should be involved in, the one that you think that's for you, that you're probably having some little residual left over from your past relationship. So you can't get that last person off your mind and out of your heart. So when you have one or two that you can't get off your mind and out of your heart, then it makes it hard for the one that's supposed to be with you to show up. You got to clear that energy out for both. And if you keep getting the same type of person with the same type of characteristic treating you the same way, maybe that also means that you still haven't let go of the past person. And I know that personal experience is very hard to just let go. But I think letting go may be a little bit easier if the person lets you go first. So if the person lets you go first, then it's a little bit, I'll take that back. It's not easier. It's just as hard. Because now you kind of be kind of devastated about the letting go. And I think that this is when you're gonna start going through a lot of questions as to what went wrong, what did I not do right, and why. I think the most meaningful question that you may have is, why didn't he want me? And that may be because you have those thoughts because maybe you have some self-esteem issues, low self-esteem issues. And then if you had a few relationships that end basically the same way, then you're really going to be pondering yourself that you do have some self-esteem issues. Or is it that you just love so hard and deep? So you can chalk it up to be either one. And personally, I would say mostly I just love deep. I don't have self-esteem. I definitely don't have low self-esteem issues. I'm going to talk about me. I just believe that if you're going to love somebody, you need to give it your all. Now, after a few bad relationships, and if you read the book, you see there was 3 really deep lessons that Sasha learned. And out of the lessons that Sasha learned, it was still, the impact was so hurtful but she wasn't going to let that impact deter her from still wanting to be in a relationship and still giving love to 100%. So it really does feel good to be in love. Yes, it is horrible to be hurt, but I think it's about how you look at it, how you take it. So I look at things like special relationships, and especially how the relationship ends, and especially if it's not on my favor, as riding a wave. So just pretend you're on a beach in Hilton Head Island and this big old wave come in. So how you ride the wave is you get on the wave, and your objective is not to fall off of what they call those things, whatever board that is, that those surfers use, surfing board. But anyway, so you just ride it, and you just take your time, and if it go down, you go down with it, and if it come up, you come up with it. You just don't let it throw you off. So that's kind of my rule for relationships and life. I just take it the same way I ride a wave. And I've ended up becoming a pretty good wave rider, especially in the relationships areas. I don't dwell on the hurt part too much, but I do keep it in the back of my mind. And I also, if anything was to pop up in another relationship or another relationship that I'm interested in, or another person that's interested in me, and it was similar to the past person, then that's a red flag for me to be more, I don't want to say cautious, but just more alert to not stepping into the same type of relationship again. Whew, that's a mouthful. Well, anyway, so never sell yourself short of being in love, because those past relationships could be just a lesson for you to learn about what you don't want in your life. So you don't want that man that's um, a serial cheater. Who does? Unless you, okay, serial cheater, player, however you want to say. I say serial cheater. I think serial cheater is a nicer word than player. So you don't want that serial cheater. The serial cheater, I don't think that he's going to be too honest and forthcoming because he still wants you for a reason. What that reason might be, he probably keep that to himself. Then he might just be bold enough to tell you, I only want you for sex. And then it's your decision whether you want to stay in there for just the sex, unless you got a lesson you want to teach him. So sometimes gentlemen, ladies do have lessons that they want to teach you, and sometimes ladies, gentlemen do have lessons that they want you to learn as well. So on that note, I've learned a lot of lessons. I don't know if the men's intention was to for it to actually end up the way it did, or did I go into the relationship expecting more than I should have? Because I guess growing up, childhood has a lot to do with the things that we go through in adulthood. So as I was growing up, from 12 years old to 17, I listened to my uncle a lot. Even when he didn't know I was listening to him, I listened to him. He was just having conversations with his friends. And I heard him talk. So my uncle was an imam. He was for Muslims in our community. So I would hear him talk about when a Muslim man gets with a woman, that Muslim man and that woman should have marriage in mind from get-go, from the start. So, and I kind of hung on to that over the years. So anytime I actually got into a relationship, I always thought that, okay, this is a potential. This is somebody that I'm gonna look at as being a long-term relationship or my husband. It didn't turn out that way though, because even the man that I thought was gonna be I didn't even think the man that I married was gonna be my husband. That just something that just happened. But I've kind of refrained from thinking that way now. I guess over the years you live and you learn. It would be nice if you didn't get into a relationship until you had the person that you thought you was gonna marry, or it would go that far. But how you gonna know that when you just meet someone? I guess you have to take time to get to know that person. Then some men are just in such a big hurry, they don't take the time to get to know you before they want to jump in the sheets. But women, we have a control over that as well, because we can delay it if our body allows. Sometimes our body have that silent dialogue going in our head that nope, you want this and you want it right now. But sometimes you just gotta tell that voice to be quiet. But anyway, so I've had a few relationships over the last, I'll say, 10 years. And one I thought was gonna go somewhere, and it didn't. And that was such a big disappointment. I got 2 disappointments out of that one. So that particular relationship, one of the disappointment was that it didn't go as I thought it was going to go, when I thought it was actually going that way. And then the person ghosts me and then show it back up. Then I had already made some decisions in between that time. And I think still to this day, and some people call them distractions, but I think it's good when someone else come into your life and you can put focus on that other person, or something come into your life and you can put that focus on something. So I work both ways. It's either a person that's going to come into my life that I'm going to put that focus on to take it up my mind off of the person that I broke up with or broke up with me, or I'm going to work on me. When I work on me, I'm always doing something to better my life for the moment or for the future. So a breakup may cause me to go and take a voiceover class, or it may cause me to go and take a class in comedy, or I might just go back to college and get another degree. And based on the amount of degrees that I have, it's like, damn, she probably had a whole lot of breakups. So I just like to do things that's positive, because you don't have to revert to things that are negative or things that gonna have a negative effect on your life. So I wouldn't resort to drinking, drugging, or just being promiscuous. So, because I know those things can have a lasting effect on my later years. Somebody can call in, I'll take a call. First person call in, get a free book. Men in My Bed, True Love is Hard to Find, Bedroom Chronicles. So call me, call in, and leave your information, and I'll mail your book out to you. Get it in 3 to 5 days. So, Men in My Bed. One of them had a birthday yesterday, and I hadn't spoken to him in about 10 years or more, might be 15 years. So I decided that I'll send him an email, because the only thing I had was his email address. I sent him an email, and all I said was, "Happy birthday, old man," and I left it at that. But he made it to the book, so he was an interesting character. I'll leave it at that. But anyway, I definitely learned a lot from him, because it was when I was in my 20s and my 30s. And it took me a long time to let him go, to the point where I moved out of the state. I left one state and came to another, and then I set boundaries, and my boundaries was I was never dating another American man. So for the next 10 years, I didn't date another American man. I was always a foreigner. So, but that relationship was a huge lesson. But I didn't have any harsh feelings towards him. And he kind of set the tone for the type of man that I like to have in my life, except for with the bad things that he did. But other than that, but he was young. He was in his 20s. I was in my late 20s, early 30s. But anyway, he was young, and he was out there, and he was really good looking. Yes, he was. Well, it's time for commercial break. Be right back. Hey.
Yo, what's up, y'all? I'm Dynasty Smith, and I'm your host for The Flavor, where we're going to be showcasing some of the hottest independent artist videos from all around. So y'all tune in every Wednesday at 8 o'clock just by typing into your YouTube bar, TV 1061. So if you go into your YouTube search bar, type in TV 1061 to join us every Wednesday at 8 o'clock to check out some of the hottest new independent artist videos from all over. If you want to check us out on Facebook, just type in The Flavor, and you can find us on Facebook. And yo, for you artists out there, lights, camera, action. Now, the camera's on you. If you want to get your video aired on The Flavor, then you need to hit us up at 1061tv@gmail.com. Send us your YouTube link, and then we'll get back to you on details on how you can be on The Flavor.
Today's world exposes our youth to life experiences that are well beyond that which their years should allow. Violence, trauma, poverty, injustice. Our children's lives and their livelihoods are in constant danger. Wisdom Inc. is a community-based organization designed to save young lives by reducing violence and assisting youth in their personal development. Wisdom stands for wise individuals structuring and developing youthful minds. Through our collective wisdom, we can change lives for the better. Wisdom Inc. Reducing violence, developing youth, saving lives.
Welcome back to Bedroom Chronicles. My name is Mercury's Rise, and I'm your host today. And we don't have a caller. We don't have a guest. So how about someone call on in And I'm talking about my book, Men in My Bed, True Love is Hard to Find, Bedroom Chronicles. And I was just talking about how hard it is to let go. And one thing is I'll pick up on is that sometimes we don't pick up on the signs that it's time to let it go. So we may, in the back of our mind, we may have those thoughts like, is he trying to tell me he just want this to be casual? Is he trying to tell me that he doesn't want a relationship at all? Because you have some guys where, I'll say men, when it gets a little too close for comfort for them, because they don't want to be in a relationship, they just want the benefits of it, they pull back, meaning that, okay, we can meet on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, or you can just meet 1 or 2 days out of the week. Maybe you is Tuesday, Thursday girl, or you can meet me on Saturday and I'll cook dinner and I'll run you a hot tub and all water and all this kind of stuff. But when it gets too close for comfort, then they're gonna start like, okay, you used to come 5 days a week, now you only come in 3 days a week. Then now they're busy, you only come in 2 days a week. And it'll go like that for 10 days, 15 days. So maybe again, that's the time when the serial cheater has the other women coming in and out, a woman has the other males coming in and out. So then, of course, you're paying attention to this, and you might even mention it, but they're going to play it off like they don't understand what you're talking about. So you have to be mindful to pay attention to the little red flags that's coming in and out. Sometimes you will come across a man that's pretty honest, and they'll say, well, I'm going to visit my girlfriend in New York. I'm going to spend a week with my baby mama in D.C. But you're not supposed to be with your baby mama in D.C. When did this girlfriend in New York come into play? Because you didn't tell me about her before. You told me you was all alone by yourself. And stuff along that line. It's just too much at sometimes. But anyway, for last year, 2020, November and December, I did some shows basically talking about sexual tips in the bedroom, and did we get some good tips? We got over 21 good tips from 3 different guests that had alternate lifestyles, meaning that they were either gay or bisexual, and they were doing sexually. From my perception, they were doing everything under the rug and everywhere. So they still had problems. I realized that I don't care how much sex you're given, you're still going to have problems in the relationship. Other person's still going to want more than just you. And that's not for everybody. Sometimes you might run across that one person, that one homebound person that's gonna only want you in their life. But then they only want you, but they're gonna be selfish, they're gonna be controlling, maybe not, but my experience, they've been selfish, they've been controlling, and you can't deal with this men being selfish and controlling. So then you go outside of that relationship to get what you are missing. So one of the guests said that he knew that his partner would cheat on him, but he was giving them everything under the sun and something new whenever they got together. But he still knew that he was going to cheat on him. One of the young ladies, she was, I think she was still a little hurt from the conversation about her and her boyfriend, because he left and went back to his baby mama, and she was doing everything from the sun to the moon with her man. All the tricks in the book, plus some I never even heard of. And so I guess you can't say that sex is always going to keep him there. In her from her perspective, from my perspective, for what she said, she did so much. I kind of thought that it might have actually ran him away, because he was. I think she said he was just a one-time man. He only did it like just one round, and she was probably 10 years younger than him, but she said she was okay with the one round, but she was covering a lot in the one round, and she was getting him, introducing new things to him that it appears that he might have been a little hesitant in trying, like the cum swapping and the golden shower in your mouth. So I think it's probably was the last 3, probably 1 in December and 2 in the end of November, will cover the time frame for those 3 shows. So it can be kind of confusing if you're looking at other people's relationships and comparing them to yours, because like I just said, you have people doing everything and they're still getting the same treatment that I would say that I've received with dealing with just me and one person. So now my partner may be cheating, but I am not cheating. So I like to let my partner know that if I'm going to cheat, I'm going to let you know I'm going to cheat. So that's not really cheating, because I'm telling you I'm interested in someone else. I'm going to be not spending so much time with you. I'm going to be spending time with someone else. But I'll come back around to you. And that's only supposed to be to let you know that, okay, I've been with you for 5 years. You ain't stepping up your game, so now I'm going elsewhere. But I'll keep you in the loop. But we won't be doing things that we would normally do if it was just me and you. And I think the person that's the partner would also say that, well, since it's not going to be just me and you, then there are certain things that you and I won't be doing. And I agree with that. If it's a third party, fourth party, fifth party, how many other parties in there, then it should be certain things that you don't do just to be on the safe side. 'Cause who wants to be taking some antibiotics? Nobody. And I don't know if when people do. Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Well, hi.
Hi, it's Tacoma.
How are you, Tacoma?
I'm doing fine on this Saturday evening. How about you?
I am good.
That's good. I tuned in late to the show, but I don't know if it's on this segment, but I wanted to talk about letting it go in relationships and those times when you learn your life's lesson.
Okay.
When I was married, I learned my life's lesson. It took a while, but my former spouse and I, we dated, we knew each other for at least 23 years. And when we finally got married, and she was down here, I was down here first from New York, and then she retired from city service, and she came down here, thinking that that's what she wanted. I knew how she got down early in the years, but giving a person benefit of the doubt or the opportunity to say, oh, they can change. We're a little older now, we're married now, but it turned out at the end she was that same person. Just some people are, just marriage is not. Some people are not married-minded, so. My life's lesson that I learned from her was what I am and what I'm not willing to tolerate, and just letting go. Some of my issues were, wow, a lot of time and a lot of money wasted, but I just have to let that go, because you can't get that back. You can earn more money, but you can't get time back, which is the most valuable asset. And you can, and just learn from there, from that point to go forward. know that, okay, should someone else come into my life, I know those signs, what to look for. And like I said, with her, that life lesson was, knowing how I know how she got down before. 9 times out of 10, people don't change. You're over 20, 25, you don't change. You're going to be that same person.
Wow. Huh. So you said that she didn't change?
Not from what I knew of her, when we were in our, when we first met, back in the late 80s.
Okay.
Didn't change. And I think after we got married, being that I put so much into that relationship, it was also a thing like my previous relationship or my previous marriage, I cheated. So it was like that karma that came back to me. Here I was at a time now when I wanted to be and was that, that great husband. And I just got back what I was giving out, knowing what hurt feels like when you're with someone who would rather, I don't want to say rather run the streets, but they were marriage minded. And then I learned what I did to my first wife. You can apologize, say I'm sorry, things didn't work out. But it's a life's lesson is like when you feel that pain, you're like, wow. And, you see, when you remember seeing her tears fall, or, when she was mad, it's like, what are you so mad about? Things don't work. People break up all the time. But that was my karma that came back to me. And when we divorced, I had asked for divorce. I had asked for the divorce. She had signed it. Letting go, because it was very difficult to let go. And I don't mean like I was stalking her or anything like that. It was just like everything reminded me of her, or everything. It was crazy. I've never felt like that with any other woman. We broke up. I went on my way, but this year was difficult. And I went to therapy for that. We went to marriage counseling at first, and she was a little reluctant, and then I went to another counselor, by myself. I went to, counseling over that, and a lot of prayer, and a lot of friends giving me, insight and just, support. And then one day, and during that time, dating, other people and messing those relationships up, because thinking that I was over her, but I wasn't. I hurt people, and then one day, it just like that, like a light switch went on, and ironically, she, hey, you want to try this? And I was like, nah. Thanks, but no thanks. And she was a little upset because, I was talking to someone else, and I guess in the past, when I was talking to someone else, I had dropped them to go back to her, only to find out that her boyfriend that she was seeing, he worked his way back in, and I was like, wow, I helped you move his stuff out, and then you turn around and let him move back in, and it was too much drama for someone, a man of my age. It was ridiculous. And like I said, this one day, I woke up, and I was like, I'm good, and I'm very thankful for my friends' support, God's healing, and that's the way it is now. Knowing that she's no good for me, and knowing that I deserve better, and knowing that I'm better than that, and all of those cliches, all of them apply.
Wow. So when you say that she's no good for you, what part of that, in what way is she no good for you?
Meaning that, two people in a relationship, a committed relationship, they set their boundaries. She couldn't set boundaries. I feel, I know, because I've seen it in, different examples. She cared about other people's feelings. She cared about not offending someone else at the expense of, hey, I'm married, I don't mind you calling, but you can't, calling the phone. But I got to set a boundary. You can't call past 10 o'clock at night, And men and women, co-workers, men and women. It was like, hey, I was like, yo, it's 10 o'clock. I'm looking at the phone like, do you see me call anybody past 10 o'clock? Or do I see you call anybody past 10 o'clock? It's why they feel it's okay to call here, like their friends are on the same playing level as me. Like it's like, I'm Mr. Washington.
Tacoma.
I
Tacoma. Hold that thought. We got to go to a commercial break, okay?
Yes.
All right. Going to commercial.
Good afternoon. I'm Lieutenant Elmer Horn with Douglas County Sheriff's Office, and we're here at one of our communities, and Sheriff Pounds is here with us. And Sheriff Pounds is very involved in his communities, and he come out. We brought out our grill and our smoker so we can come out and help cook for this community. And Sheriff Pounds himself has come out and helped cook with us, and he's here to cook and help these folks today.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is one of the programs that I call Taking My Community Back. If you don't get out there and get involved in your community, you ain't gonna be able to get it back. And the sad part about it, we losing our young men at such a pace that it's unreal. We got to come up with something that will help us with these children. Got to. So this is what I'm doing. I love it. I'm out here in the sun. It's hot, but like I said earlier, we're gonna do these until we get that gap between law enforcement and the community bridge. We're gonna bridge that gap because we're gonna get out of here, we're gonna shake hands, we're gonna find out if they got any kind of problem we can assist them with, and invite them to the sheriff's office and come to the roll call. Just come see what's going on at the office. Thank y'all so much for being here.
Thank you, Sheriff Pounds. And like I said, this is just one of many events that we bring this grill out to help with our communities and get involved.
Hey, I'm not in right now. Sorry. Leave me a message.
I just
Bye.
wanna love you. Meet me at the hotel room, or you can come over. So many things I wanna do to your body, driving me crazy. I just wanna love you. Meet me at the hotel room, or you can come over. So many things I wanna do to your body.
Welcome back to Bedroom Chronicles. My name is Mercury's Rising, and I'm your host today. And on the phone, we have a caller, Mr. Tacoma, Washington, and he is sharing his experience in how hard it is to let go. Mr. Washington?
Yeah.
You want to continue?
Sure. Before the break, I was discussing about the boundaries that my former spouse couldn't set in place. Like I'm saying, she felt she couldn't hurt other people's feelings by telling them, the truth. Or listen, you have to respect household, respect my husband, respect our marriage. And like I said, friends, male and female alike, would take it upon themselves, like their name was on the lease, like they pay bills, and that's why I was saying, she was no good for me. Basically, it's really no good for anybody. And I know some listeners may say, hey, that's not fair. No, it is fair. When you know a person, it's fair to make that assessment, that judgment, because I was married to her. I saw it. I witnessed it firsthand. And some of the things, like that phrase, I have enough stories to write a book on. Exactly. That's why I'm writing a book. But my life lesson taught me a lot, and like I said, because I even told my therapist, I said, I think it was two years ago around this time, before the Christmas holiday, I was fearful that when the new year came in, 2019 or 20, one of the two, that I was fearful that I was going to end up remarrying her, and then the new year came in, it didn't go that way, and I was thankful, because even though I wasn't, cured of the hurt, it was a possibility that if she said, hey, you want to go to City Hall, that I would have said yes. You know, but that was then, this is now. Ask me that same question, and it would be, a resounding hell no. Hell no. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
The people that normally say that, they end up doing it.
Yeah, I don't care about other people. Quite frank. I don't need to be, hey, I do not care. Why? We know each other. Watch me. Why? And I feel sorry for her because as she gets older, I guess maybe she I don't want to say realize. Hey, but I have to use that word. He was a good man. I need to get him back. Or someone else snatched him up. And it was too late because you had that opportunity. No. And just like I did 11 years ago when I gave her the benefit of the doubt, thinking that she changed from the 90s, and then when I saw that she didn't, what kind of fool would I be to think that she could change now? Absolutely not.
Wow.
So that was, I know, like I said, in previous conversations, previous shows, you spoke about that lesson. If you don't learn that lesson, you're going to do it again. I learned my lesson. Thank God. I learned that lesson, moved on.
Wow. So what if you wasn't dating anybody for a couple of years and then you started thinking about her and then you realized, well, she wasn't that bad. She was young and she needed to mature a little bit more. And you might think, well, 5 years, 10 years already passed. Maybe she's matured a little bit more and maybe I'll give it another go.
Okay, again, absolutely not. Because you can't get time back. My time is valuable. And like I said, yeah, it's a possibility. She may mature and change, but I'm not willing to waste that time and find out the wrong, the hard way. And again, a man of my age, no, I don't have time to waste like that. Hell no. When there's a world of opportunity out there now, absolutely not. And it's based on, I can understand a few indiscretions or a few things, but like I said before, enough to write a book on, and the extent of the things that she did, like you wouldn't believe it. You would think that it was fabricated. You'd be like, nah, nobody, and I have to look at it like this. I know there are worse scenarios, and I'm thankful that it wasn't worse. She didn't get pregnant by someone else and had to raise that child, anything like that, or no one went to jail, no one died of an assault like those shows, Fatal Attraction, which I always thought it was something was going to go down like one of those shows dealing with her. No, I would never waste time to find out whether she did or didn't. And like I said, you used to that bad, yes, that bad. Wow. Because even when I was in it, I had to look at it, but I don't even like wasting my time nowadays to look back and say, well, think about the good times and was it that bad? I don't even like to waste my present time now to even, reminisce to say, no, it wasn't, or yes, it was. I shut that down, close that door, and just, like I said, just move forward, forward.
Wow. So, I understand what you're saying, and I'm gonna put a but in there, and I know the but. I already gave you the but because I said, but if she matured, so I'm gonna give you a little piece of my personal experience. So one of my ex-husbands was ill, and I went to take care of him for about 3 days. Now, I've never taken care of that ex-husband, never. Not even if he'd never been sick. So, but he was scared this time. So I went over and I took care of him. So I mean like I run the bath water for him, I cooked the dinner for him, and gave him good real food to eat, not no fake stuff like he likes to eat. I just made sure that he was set up on the path to getting well. And he was really appreciative. He said, I never seen this side of you. So I like to take the opportunity to interject that you never allowed me to show you that side of me because you wanted to do everything for yourself and nobody could do it better than you. And then he just sit back and look at me for a minute. He said, but I thought that I knew you. I said, you don't know me. I said, you haven't even read the book that I wrote. He said, I know everything that's in it. I said, no, it's nothing in that book that you know. Nothing, not one thing in that book that you know. So I say that piece because sometimes you might get an opportunity to let the person know what they missed out on. Or you might get the opportunity to show that person a side of you that they never even knew existed. And if you was my husband, you should know that I know how to take care of somebody or how to nurse someone back to good health when my background is in nursing. But I'm just saying, he just missed that altogether. And he knew me for 15 years before we even got married, but he still didn't know my capabilities, I would say.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So,
a lot.
yeah, that was a lot. That was a lot for him to swallow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how has the new year been for you so far?
Health-wise, fine. Career-wise, fine. Spiritually-wise, fine. What's going on in the world today? It's the 9th day. I'm like, what is it, the 9th or the 10th?
It's the 9th.
The 9th day, and I'm like, wow, 9 days into this new year, we got what's going on, and I'm shaking my head. I was like, wow, only 9 days of the new year, within the new year, and look what's taking place. So, how have things been for you for the new year so far?
For me?
Yes.
Oh, so far? It's been very busy.
Yeah.
The holidays put me in a mode that I don't want to be, so then I start doing things to kind of make myself feel, I don't know, I guess happier. So and that's every October. No, that's every November, December, January. So but I can see that it's going to be pretty good later on down the line because the things that I'm working on. So I say probably by June or July, I should be a very, very, very happy person.
Okay.
Yeah. Happy with myself. Yeah, I'll put it like that.
That's the most important thing right there.
Yep, happy with myself.
Yeah.
Yep. Some people miss that. Some people miss that. So.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You can't be happy with anything or with anyone else until you're happy with yourself as you are. And you look at yourself right in the mirror, and eye to eye. That's it. Just look at yourself and be happy with the reflection, what you see in the mirror.
Yeah, I want that. In 2020, I had some moments of, I think, true happiness, but it didn't last long. It just lasts like for a day, or I got a whiff of it for a few minutes, but I got that feeling of how happiness actually feels. So, but in 2021, I'm looking forward to it lasting for months and weeks, not just a couple of days or a few hours. So.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And do you? How do you? Because you said you're busy, and busy is always good. Busy is always good. Do you have your? Because I know how your vision board. Do you develop that like for the first half of the year, first 6 months, and then revise that, update that, for the second half?
No, I've never done a vision board. I just keep all my images in my head, and I just have in my mind what I want to be done, and how I want that to progress. So I'll say, well, the end of February, February 13th, I'm going to be finished with this. the end of February, I'll start on this. I'll give myself a little break. And then I'll be finished with March. I'll be finished with another project that I'm working on, which will give me a lot of free time. And then I can focus more on, I think I'll focus more on this show in March, and having guests come in, or having guests available. That's definitely something I need to work on. And I'll see where it goes from there, because I'm still working on my book, still working on it. Wanted to go to the movie. It's going to be the movie. So I have things in place for that. And so it's time for another commercial break. Be right back.
Okay.
Be right back.
How can you find a reliable source of CBD products? Introducing Holistic Wellness Boutique, a revolutionary collection of CBD tinctures, CBD topicals, CBD edibles, CBD pet products, and other relevant CBD products that help you incorporate CBD into your everyday lifestyle. The best part? Through our special Radiant Transformations program, Dr. Alea Daniel, PharmD, a well-regarded wellness coach, licensed pharmacist, and the mind behind the idea of Holistic Wellness Boutique, will also introduce you to a healthier lifestyle through proper education, nutrition, and a thorough medication evaluation to make the most of our exemplary CBD products. If you are struggling with a chronic condition, we can help you discover how to live a more holistic lifestyle through wellness coaching and the proper selection of hemp-derived CBD products. Visit HolisticWellnessBoutique.com to schedule a consultation or order an audacious combination of hemp-derived CBD products that will rejuvenate your mind, body, and spirit.
Hi, I'm Michael Cowell, your funniest man on the planet, and you're watching TV 1061, your global network. Stay tuned, because that's how they do it over here. Big time party! All right, see y'all later. Bye.
Hi, I'm Harry Lennox, and you're watching TV 1061, your global network.
Welcome back to Bedroom Chronicles, and I am Mercury's Rising, your host, and on the phone we have Tacoma, Washington. Mr. Washington and I are discussing life lessons and how hard it is to let go of past relationships.
Indeed.
Okay.
And I know you had in the past, previous shows, you had mentioned what's that the right terminology? You said like with two people, like a flame.
Oh, twin flame.
Twin flames, yeah.
Uh-huh.
And
soulmates.
me and my ex-wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. And well, just some information I came across. I think it was it was from my therapist. Like she said, like 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That soulmate doesn't. Your soulmate could be of the same sex. It doesn't. It could be your child. It could be a cousin. It doesn't have to be the opposite sex. Someone that you want to be in a relationship.
Right.
All my life, I thought it meant just the opposite. The opposite sex, someone that you want to be in a relationship. And but then, when you had mentioned twin flame, that made a lot of sense. So if I look at it like this, so if I heard you correctly, and I believe I did, my ex-wife and I weren't twin flames. And if you know that, then why try to, you can't mix oil and vinegar, square peg, round hole, the other cliche.
Mm-hmm. So you and your wife weren't twin flames, but you and your wife are soulmates, and you and her reason for being together was for you to learn lessons and for her to learn lessons. And it seemed like in your relationship with her that she was actually the teacher, because she was giving you a lot of hard lessons. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All up until I never felt that we were soulmates.
Oh, you didn't?
Twin flames, no. Soulmates, no. Either.
Oh, okay.
But yes, I learned my lesson first before her, because if in my opinion, you have to be coachable. You have to be you have to be in a frame of mind where you want to learn something or you want to receive something. If you just go through life you know, that lesson can be right in front of you, and if you don't pay attention to it, it'll go, you know, right past you. And then, like I said, you said in, you know, on previous shows or previous conversations, that if you don't pick up on that, if you don't learn it, you're going to run into it again.
Yep.
And I think that's where, you know, a lot of people, I hear that phrase, he keeps dating the same type of woman. You know, she looks like the old one or the one before that. And with women, you know, the same type of man, same type of man, same type of man. You know, it's a unique and really, you know, profound phenomena. You know, just you got to give yourself that time to evaluate. You got to look into yourself and say, yeah, you know, he may look like the previous one, or I find myself dating the same type of woman. You know, like why? You know, why is it? You got to give yourself time. You got to give time. You know, and if you don't, you're blazing through life. Just, you know, here's, you know, another one, next one. You know, and that's, obviously that's not good. You know, you'll miss out on so much more.
Yeah. So what did you think about what I said today, if you caught that part about when you get in a relationship, you think it's going to go one way, but it makes a abrupt turn for a different direction?
I missed that.
Oh, okay. Because I was saying, since you missed it, I grew probably from, I might have been 10 or 12 to 17. My uncle was the imam in the community, so he was a Muslim. And I used to listen to him talk all the time. And one of his conversations he was having with a group of the men was that you're supposed to, Muslim man is supposed to go into the relationship with marriage in mind, whoever that woman is. So just listening to him having a conversation with these men, that stayed with me for many, many years. And when I got into a relationship, that's how I looked at the gentleman or the man that I was involved with. And it would start off real good, but then it would end up not so good. But then the men that I married, I didn't even look at them that way, but those were the men that I married. So, I think I might have stopped doing that. I'm not gonna say when, but I guess that's not a good thing to do unless I also said that unless you got to know the person first, and then you say, well, yeah, this is somebody that I can spend the rest of my days with. But a lot of people don't wait; they just go straight for it. And some people, some people can go straight forward, and then they end up getting married on short notice. But how do you know exactly which one is going to work out best for you? Do you wait a long time and see how it goes, and then you might lose out, or do you just go straight for it? What you think?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Never straightforward. You have to take your time, and it's difficult to say, okay, well, how much time is enough time? But you'll know, or you'll feel, or a person would feel, I'm getting close to that time, versus the opposite, just blazing into something like that, because it would always make sense to take time on something. You have to, if you listen to God's voice and His guidance, he doesn't say move quickly. Hey, let's move quickly. It's always take your time. It's always weigh this, observe that. For those that blaze into something and they're successful, God bless them. We all put for men, for people, we put our pants on one leg at a time. And some people sit down and put both legs at the same person doesn't work for the next person, you know. But you know, for me, it takes time, and you know, it's just like, you know, getting back to the soulmate. You know, like I said, like my cousin and I, you know, like we're second cousins. You know, we were more like brothers, and I enjoyed his company, and he enjoyed mine. And I would feel like, you know, like you meet a woman, I would want that same, you know, that same energy, that same excitement. Like, you know, like I said, okay, I'm getting off from work. I'm gonna go pick him up. We're gonna chill. You know, we're gonna hang out. You know, whatever, shoot some pool. You know, whatever. You want that with the person that you're dating. You know, so to be that much better. You know, build that foundation. Take that time. You know, him being my cousin by blood was just a coincidence. But let's say if he weren't my cousin, and he was like, you know, I like the Pittsburgh Steelers. Me too. You know, or I like this program. I like this sitcom. Oh, me too. You know, I prefer women with. Oh, me too. You know, and it's like that's what builds friendship. That's what builds bonds. And the same thing with, you know, with someone of the opposite. Again, all right, in this new generation, with someone that you're feeling serious about. You know, you would want these things to align so it keeps building. So we're like, yeah, that's my dude. You know, it's my, you know, and then you feel that way about the person you're in love with. Just makes it that much better. You know, and you can't do that overnight. I don't think you can do it overnight. And again, for those that can do it overnight, that's good. God bless them.
Well, so what's been the quickest for you?
I'm sorry, say it again?
What's been the quickest amount of time for you?
Let's see. I have to, in my mind, put the person's face and then say yes or no. So this may take a minute or two. Let's see. No. I really can't think. I think they've all equaled out. You know, 3 months or something like that. At least 3 months, 4 months. I can't go back that far. I can't think back that far to say, you know, someone will say, "Damn, man, you just met her." You know. I honestly can't answer that question.
Okay.
What about you? What about you?
Well, I think for me, I've just been following his lead. Because if he say let's take it slow, then I go slow. If he doesn't say anything, then I'll wait for him to say how he feels before I say how I feel.
Okay.
So, but that's because you can. I think you can. Well, for me, I can tell within a few weeks if it's somebody that I actually want to be with. Yeah, I can tell. So.
I mean, you said once, and we'll always say, you know, looks fade.
Look what?
You always have said that looks fade.
Yeah, they do. They do. Yep. Personality and character plays a lot. A lot. I was paying attention to, when I was taking care of my ex-husband, I was paying attention to his behavior, because some of his behavior is just little things that actually turned me off. Like, I can't stand that you let the fork hit your teeth. I can't stand it. It just sends something through me. But all I got to do is just give him a look, and he know why I'm looking at him. So then, put the top on the toothpaste, squeeze the toothpaste from the bottom, not the middle. It's little tiny things that just, no, I can't live with you for the next 20 years because you're just driving me crazy unless we in different rooms or something. But,
yeah.
So.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, Tacoma, thank you very much for being my guest today, and I hope you really think about being my co-host.
Still under consideration.
Okay. So, the next
The
week.
jury's still out.
All right. So next week, my time has changed. It's going to be on Saturdays at 5 p.m.
Just found out an hour and a half ago.
Yes. So, sorry for the short notice, and we still have a lined up of other shows. Oh, let's see if I can find them. I keep it in the book. Where is it? Oh my goodness. Well, I know we have Talk Show Divas on Sundays, and we have the Divas on Sundays at 4:30. Talk Show Kings 6:30 on Sundays. On Wednesdays, the Flavor at 8 o'clock. Wednesdays, the Playlist at 9:30. And Conversations on Saturday at 3:30. And then it's me, Bedroom Chronicles, at 5 o'clock p.m. Thank you for watching. See you next week. Okay, Tacoma, thank you.
Hey, I'm not in right now. Sorry. Leave me a message.
I
Bye.
just wanna love you. Meet me at the hotel room, or you can come over. So many things I wanna do to your body, driving me crazy. I just wanna love